Hello there, this is Leon Dale, and we are quickly going to go over a few of the fundamental basic data types. I'm in PyCharm, which is for Python, and that's what this is in, although I'm pretty sure these data types are the same or similar over a vast variety of languages. Let's begin. First up, we have integer, shortened usually to int. Integer really just stands for whole number. 12 is a whole number. 10 is a whole number. 2.5 is not an integer. Float, on the other hand, is a number with a decimal point. 3.42 thingy-majiggy for pi. 12.456 as seen here, that's a float. 2.5, that's a float. Float stands for a number with a decimal point. Integer is a number with no decimal point. If you pass 2.5 and then try to print it as an integer, it'll print 3. If I remember correctly, if it's 2.5, if it's 0.5 and above, it rounds upwards. If it's 0.4 and below, it rounds down. So one could see, but it will round it up to a full number. Anyway, let's move on. Char, as in character. This is to designate a single character. This is a little confusing to me. I do not understand why this wouldn't simply be a string and you pass a single character in a string. It would still be a string, it'll be a string with one character. But here, for some reason, it specifically defines character, char, as one single character. A string, however, is a group of words, like numbers, symbols, whatever's between those quotation marks will be printed. That's a string. It can't be calculated upon. It can't be manipulated in the ways you usually manipulate numbers, because in between those quotations can be almost whatever you want. It doesn't matter to the computer. It's a string. After that, we have complex, which is a mixture of numbers and alphabet characters, alphanumeric, and this is probably useful for encryption and hacking and all that type of thing. I haven't come across much use for alphanumeric items at this point in time. Anyway, moving on. Boolean. For me, a Boolean is one of the most important ideas in programming in computers. It simply means true or false, yes or no. When we look at a certain point on a circuit, we can say, is there power going through this point? If so, it's true. That's a yes. We call that 1. Power is present. If there's no power at this point in the circuit, that's a 0. That is false. That is no, right? It's positive or negative, true or false, on or off. And so this idea, this binary idea, is what everything that we are doing and experiencing and playing with is built upon. This simple idea of on or off. I find that miraculous that the number that has given us this technological miracle is 2, just yay or nay, on or off, 0 or 1. And from that simple 2-point concept, we've created miracles. I say miracles. So that's what a Boolean is, true or false. In Python, you have to capitalize the T in true, capitalize the F in false, or it won't be recognized. And the last one we got here is an array. An array can be considered a list. I have also learned that it can be called a table. And there are a number of other words to define lists, such as tuple and dictionary. But we're not going to get into that right now. That gets deeper. Just know that one of the data structures, data types, is an array, a list, a table. And usually within that table, defined in Python, if I am correct in saying this, in square brackets, and then separated by commas. Since I have a bunch of strings in this particular example, I've got quotations. This could quite easily be a list of numbers. You know what I'm saying? And it would be separated the same by commas. So that's a list that contains 4, 47, 8, 9, 0. And really that's it. Let's go over it real quick one time. Integer is a full number with no decimal point. A float, conversely, is a number with a decimal point. Char is short for character, and it has a single character in quotations there. A string is alpha or numeric, but it's within quotations, and it doesn't get observed by the computer for calculations or interpretation or anything else. Anything between the quotes is just printed as is. Complex is alphanumeric, such as 1x or F2, or any combination of numbers and letters, probably used in encryptions and large data sets and the like. Boolean is simply true or false. Sometimes you'll see this Boolean referred to as bool or booly, and that's okay. And then we have array, which is a list or a table of information, which can, as I said, be alpha numeric. It can be numbers or it can be letters. And that's just it. I wanted to go over quickly over data types. This has been a rough week. This is Corona season, or this is the onset of the apocalypse. I'm not sure which it is quite yet. And there's a lot of police murdering a lot of black people. I'm angry and find it hard to concentrate. But I had to get out this simple video to show you simple data types. Thank you, and have a nice day.